Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. In this video, we're gonna take a quick overview to the Sonic ecosystem. Sonic is a bullish EVM layer 1. So they are a Ethereum virtual machine friendly blockchain, and they're basically the repurposing or the rebranding of Phantom. Their TVL is just skyrocketing. Here on DeFi Llama, that's pretty obvious. It has been growing closer and closer to the $1 billion market cap. Currently is a little over 800 million. The protocol rankings are all on the green. This is something to take notice of because not only Sonic is a very recent blockchain, but also recently the crypto markets do show a different pattern. You can see here on the top blockchains, the top 10 at least, mostly for the past month, everything is on the red. Only Barrett chain stands out from this pattern. This is definitely related to Bitcoin's price crashing from over $100,000 to under 85k as of now. As always, Bitcoin drives the markets and we see plenty of red here on all chains. And actually after Barrett chain, the next chain that has been on the green for the past month at least is Sonic. And Sonic is green throughout the three different metrics. For the past day, it's up 1%. For the past week, it's up 20%, and for the past month, it's up over 100%. So its growth has even been bigger than Barrett chain. And you can also see the amount of protocols deploying on Sonic is already over the double than on Barrett chain. And that's because Sonic has a legendary DeFi figure behind it, Andre Crony. If you never heard of him, he's actually the mastermind behind models for very popular DEXes. For example, this is Aerodrome. It's the leading liquidity hub on base chain. It's more than just a simple DEX. And Aerodrome is the largest liquidity hub on base, so much that they even have a higher TVL than, for example, Uniswap. So what you see here in this flywheel, everything that happens, all the action between traders, vAero, voters, and liquidity providers, everything which is happening around this trio on Aerodrome Finance was actually based on the design of Andre Crony, and with great success, because from base's overall TVL of $2.9 billion, a large chunk of that has been allocated on Aerodrome. They're a massive machine currently. You can see that in fees just for the past day, they generated over $100,000. So this goes to show that the person behind Phantom and now Sonic is a very influential figure in DeFi. Then he built a blockchain called Phantom, and now that same blockchain has rebranded to Sonic. And that's why you see these very fast and steep TVL increase, but also because the model that he established for Sonic is that up to 90% of the revenue generated by applications on the network is going to the developers. It's going to the applications themselves. It's something that proves to be extremely attractive for developers, for teams behind the DeFi applications, and therefore I'm not surprised to see all of this growth, and I will not be surprised if this growth keeps on happening. We'll see how it goes in the future, but right now if you start interacting with Sonic, there's plenty of DeFi opportunities for you to make the most out of it and also start farming potential airdrop points, and that airdrop probably will happen next summer. So there's still plenty of time, and all of these listed protocols here, you can see pretty much they're all on the green. They're still growing. We don't really know where the growth it will stop. At some point it will plateau at least, but all of these things put together and knowing that Sonic is the next evolutionary step from Phantom, there's a lot of people in DeFi who are extremely enthusiastic and optimistic about it. I'm one of those. So protocols knowing that they can earn up to 90% of the fees, this is something that they cannot get anywhere else. So I think it will promote the growth of DeFi on Sonic quite a lot, quite fast. And the current price of Sonic is at 50 cents. This is not financial advice. I think it's a bargain. I think it can go much higher than this. The market cap is $1.6 billion. For the past 3 months, that's pretty much the lifespan of the token. And we saw peaks of at around $1, lows at around 38, 40 cents of a dollar. So there's a lot of volatility for the past couple months. Just have that in mind. I'm very enthusiastic, like I said, about Sonic, but this volatility is not for people who are not bullish on Sonic, and if that's your case, probably this is not going to be some opportunity that you want to take at least in this point in time. Or you can take some exposure to it, but not as big as you would want with some other tokens, some other ecosystems that you have more reassurance on. Now, looking at the protocols listed here, we saw very renowned names of DeFi. We see Aave, Beats, which is also a rebranding of Beethoven. This was the name of the protocol before. Silo Finance also. Euler V2, I believe this one is also deployed on Base. Yeah, here it is. But here on Sonic, it already surpassed the TVL that they have on Base. So just out of curiosity, we're on Base chain. Scrolling through protocol rankings, we see Euler at the 24th position with over 24 million, very close to $25 million TVL, while on Sonic they pretty much more than double that with very close to $60 million TVL. So you see how things are growing for even recently deployed protocols on Sonic. Actually, Euler has this huge amount of increase for the past month. So pretty bullish, right? We also see some other very pronounced protocols in DeFi like Pendle. Beefy also has their own vaults deployed currently on Sonic. We have Ichi, which is also a liquidity manager. Among many other protocols, we also see CurveDex here. So this is to show you how reputable protocols are flocking into Sonic. Now, when it comes to DEXes, that's the bread and butter here on the channel. We're gonna go through options for providing liquidity, but do note that, in my opinion, the best will be Sonic paired with something else, for example, a stablecoin or Ethereum, because I want to grow my Sonic bag. I'm not really worried about all of this volatility because I believe in it in the long run, okay? So we have a couple of exchanges, Shadow and SwapX. These are currently the leading exchanges on Sonic. So Shadow Exchange has a TVL of over $72 million, still very low if we're thinking about the potential that it has, of course. Let's jump into liquidity and see the best pools in it. But let's go here on volume and see what's trending. So we have the S token paired with USDC.E, 2600 APR. So that's incredibly juicy. TVL 9 million, volume 30 million, pretty much a no-brainer for me. More conservative stuff to have exposure to the Sonic token. We have S paired with staked S. This is the liquid staking derivative of it. So virtually will not be bothered about impermanent loss. We're looking at 200% APR, over than that actually. So also a very interesting choice. And all of these top pools are actually also being incentivized. If you do not want exposure to Sonic, there's also some more conservative stablecoin pools here. USDC.T paired with USDT, 44% APR. These things will fluctuate, guys. Right now, I find this very appealing. And even this one with 70% APR, USDC.E paired with SCUSD. Very interesting options. Ethereum paired with a stablecoin with over 1000% APR. S and Shadow with over 5000% APR. So these APRs are super high because we're looking at the protocol which is new, it's getting incentives. So plenty of good options here with Shadow. SwapX will also have very good opportunities. Let's jump here on the earn section to see how liquidity providers can earn with SwapX. So you can be a regular liquidity provider here or also use Ichi's advanced strategies to gain SwapX and unlock additional rewards. So the difference is that Ichi will give you an automated management through their own vaults. If you're a complete beginner, I would advise you to stay away from automating strategies and learn the basics of liquidity providing. I have special videos just for that, telling you all you need to know if you want to get started about providing liquidity to any given liquidity pool. Okay, so let's go here with concentrated liquidity pools. Let's see what's trending here. Let's sort is out by volume. So we have Wrapped Sonic with its liquid staking derivative. 20% APR for both these assets. It's pretty much impermanent loss free, no market exposure, and it's a really nice APR. But considering what we just saw on Shadow, I mean, this APR is much higher. So overall, the APRs here on SwapX are less juicy than on Shadow, but still there are very interesting options. I wouldn't dismiss SwapX just because of that. These things can be extremely volatile, and Shadow is running currently the incentives campaign, so that will also account for the percentage of APRs we see there. Sonic with the stablecoin 120% APR, also very juicy. Stake Sonic with USDC.E, triple digits APR 125%. Sonic with Ethereum 74% APR. Interesting options nonetheless. Let's now take a look at Bit Exchange. It's actually ranking above both Shadow and SwapX. It has the highest TVL, over $186 million right now. The way that Bits is standing out in the Sonic ecosystem is that they aim to be the flagship liquid staking tokens hub on Sonic. This is very important because if you know about liquid staking and how powerful those protocols can be, I mean, just look at what's happening with Lido on the Ethereum ecosystem. Lido went to be one of the biggest players in DeFi overall, not just considering the Ethereum blockchain, but overall across chains. They have billions in TVL. Also on Solana, I covered that recently on a video. You see plenty of the protocols within the top 10 on Solana, so the ones that have attracted more liquidity from users are connected to liquid staking tokens. And just knowing that, you can imagine how Bits can also portray the same role but on Sonic, and that's exactly what they aim to do. They want to be the ultimate destination for your liquid stake tokens. And essentially, if this doesn't say anything to you, just know that liquid staking tokens is a very easy and accessible way for a user just start to accrue yield on Sonic. We can see that they came already from Phantom, so it's no wonder that they already established themselves on Sonic as well. And like I said earlier in the video, they are also a DEX. So they started as the Beethoven DEX, and by launching the application we can see that they have their own liquidity pools. Some of them are even being boosted, but there's plenty of offer. You have V3, you have V2, you have stable pools, so it's definitely a protocol to consider when, for example, looking for opportunities to yield farm on Sonic. If you go with staking their liquid staking token STS, currently the APR is 4.5%, and like I said before, this is a very easy way to start earning yield on Sonic, and it's also one of the lowest risk options that you could find. And also that's why the APR is just not that high. It's not that crazy as with other opportunities. And usually these things go hand in hand. Higher risk, higher reward, lower risk, lower reward. Okay, let me jump here on Gecko Terminal to see what's happening with Sonic's liquidity pools across the board. So we're considering all the exchanges, not only Shadow or SwapX. Let's sort things by trending for the past 24 hours and now sort it out also by volume. So the top 5 liquidity pools generating the most volume, they all give us exposure to the Sonic token. And actually in the top 3, very interesting, we have 2 pools of Sonic with the Bits derivative for staked Sonic. So it's a liquid staking version of Sonic, but nonetheless it's a very interesting option for people who want to grow their Sonic bag having zero exposure to the markets. Number 1, of course, it's Sonic paired with a stablecoin. Great volume to liquidity ratio. We are over 3x volume, accounting for the TVL or the liquidity. So that's a really profitable pool. We have the same pool then on the 4th spot. So on the top 10, these are very solid pools. We have either Sonic paired with the stablecoin, Sonic paired with Ethereum here in the 5th spot. Also we have Ethereum, so if you want to have exposure to Ethereum but on the Sonic chain, you can also have that here with the 8th ranked pair. Of course this will differ if you do the same analysis yourself, depending when you're watching the video, these might differ. But I would say that the top 10 protocols, they will remain the same. We are essentially looking at top 10 pools that have exposure to Ethereum, Sonic, a stablecoin, and then we start to see something else like Shadow, eggs, X33. So Shadow is the native token for the Shadow DEX, right? Eggs is a DeFi protocol. If you go back here on DeFi Llama, you see on Sonic protocols, we will have eggs. Actually here ranking the 22nd, and this DeFi protocol allows users to mint eggs tokens using the S token, use eggs as collateral to borrow more S and participate in leverage financial strategies. So we see that eggs here ranking on the 11th spot paired with Wrapped Sonic is also having quite a juicy volume to TVL ratio, almost 1.5 million in volume and 263,000 in liquidity. So we're talking about 5 to 6x volume to liquidity ratio. Then we have Shadow paired with X33, and X33 it's a liquid staking token of Shadow. So you can start earning rewards by staking your Shadow and keeping it liquid in the shape of X33. This works just the same way as Bits staked Sonic and Sonic, because Bits staked Sonic are earning you yield on your staked Sonic. So they're a liquid staking derivative, right? So this is just the same thing, but for the Shadow token. So you can see that from the positioning here in the top 15 ranking liquidity pools, Shadow DEX is looking very promising. It's also something which is very tightly correlated, of course, with these huge APRs that they are generating. So very strong incentives, strong APRs. These will attract more liquidity providers, definitely, I believe. Okay guys, that's about it about the quick overview of the Sonic blockchain, the most profitable liquidity pools, the top protocols right now. I will do something more in depth in the future. If you want me to go over SwapX or Shadow exchanges in a specific video for each, eventually I will do that. But if you let me know in the comments, I will make sure that video is put up faster. So let me know what you think about Sonic. Are you in? Do you see this as a bullish blockchain as I do? Or do you have some different ideas? Are you yield farming there already? Let us know in the comments. That being said guys, thank you for watching. Take care. I'm going to wrap this one up. I'll see you on the next one.